Bass.
Good.
That's a big one. Net, net, net.
Good.
Net, net, net.
All right.
Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by for this episode. Stay tuned for after the fishing action to get the real story about how we caught our fish in this tournament, how tough a day it really was. You'll be amazed. Thank you. Here's to the action.
Bass.
Good.
That's a big one. Net, net, net.
Good.
Net, net, net.
All right.
He's wrapped up. We gotta go get him. Oh, he's coming out. Oh yeah.
There you go. All right, back to the spinnerbait then. Woo!
Bass.
Yeah? All right. Yeah, on the outside edge. You don't need enough in, you got it, right?
He's not. Not even close.
No. But it's a bass.
It's a bass.
Yep.
Where are we at now? About
7.9.
Another stink.
Oh, there you go. Now you're getting those in the shallow, or on the ledge.
As soon as I hit the ledge.
There you go. That's what I said.
Right, or right, I don't know, right as I hit it or just before?
Right before you hit. Right
Yeah.
there, right there. Yeah.
Another little guy. Can't measure him. Not gonna help. Oh.
All right. So we got flying bass.
Little guy. That's jumping on the toe. It's going to be okay. Look at this monster. Oh, big fish. Big fish. Big. Nope.
Is that enough? We need to go right there. He's there. He's up. He's back in. Go up there. Okay. Get the thing there. Oh, shit. I got him. All right, he's a little fish, but he was wrapped. All right, so he's little.
Let me get him. Let me get him.
He might be a keeper. Oh. Well, he might be a keeper. It's a big fish. Okay, it was a little more exciting. He had a lot of weeds around him, but I think that's a keeper. Let's measure him. Okay, 13 and a half, almost there. Not legal. We gotta go bye-bye. Spine the shit out of him.
Here we go, fish.
I don't know, I haven't seen it yet. We gotta go get him. Loaded his barrel. There it is, I got him. It's not a dang. He might be another 13 and a halfer. But hey, it's fish. And sooner or later we will get one that keeps. And this one's 13 and a quarter, so I just switched over to a purple and black worm. It's actually three or four casts, 2 fish. There you go.
not going to add to the total. But bass in the lure bag. Imagine that. Did you need to talk to him before I let him go?
Go get your friends. Your big friends, your grown-up friends. Tell them there's a party on Gary's boat. Beer served later.
All right. We should have had a...
Got him.
Got him? Yep.
We can go scoot around?
Yep.
I don't think he is. But he's still there. I just felt him safe. All right, slow down. Okay. He's still there. Hey, don't hit the motor.
I'm not
Nope. He's a dang, but I see how much shit he's wrapped up in. So all that, you get this guy, who when he's wrapped up in all that stuff feels like a 20-pounder. But hey, we got him. Let him go.
Did you tell him thank you?
I thank you.
That's a good one.
Oh, it is. All right, are you using that? Nope. All right. Oh, that's another nice one. That's good. He inhaled that. I get the drink with that. There's the Justin.
Number 2, I'm pretty sure he's big enough. Just make sure he is long enough. I can't even see the numbers on the tip board because I got the fish going the wrong way. Yeah, 16 inches. Gary, all I can say is thank you so much for talking to the fish.
Yes.
And bringing them to us. It's pretty evident that you have a gift that we don't.
Mine was sunset circle or something. Fish.
That's a pipe. Nope, it's bass.
It's a keeper.
Give me. That? Nope.
Please be a keeper. I hope it's a keeper. I think it is. It looks like it might be. All right, so finally got one on a spinnerbait. It's been a while since we got a bass. So the wind picked up and we started going again. I am bassless right now for the live well. And trying to turn the board around here. Oh, 13 5/8. Son of a gun. All right.
Everybody, thanks for watching this, the second day of our tournament. Different from day one, right? Everybody can see that there was different types of fishing. But what I want to talk about before we get into the fishing part of this was Gary and I's conversation before we even left the cabin. So, we were kind of strategizing at 4 o'clock in the morning when we woke up, whatever time it was early.
We were strategizing when we went to bed too.
Yeah, we were strategizing before you went to bed.
Yeah.
But, you sleep on a little bit and we're drinking our cup of coffee. And I was like, all right, Gary, I want you to win this thing. You're in first place. It is an individual tournament.
Yes.
We're not teams. We are competing against each other. So in my mind, he's already in first place. I'm going to yield to him in my mind to make sure he is successful, right? Yield meaning if he says we're going here, I'm going to listen to the guy who's in the lead.
Exactly.
But before we even left, we both agreed on one thing. We're going right back to that lily pad area. We're going to hammer it with the spinnerbait, and then we're going to hammer it with worms, right? We're going to slow fish it and get everything we can out of there.
Yep.
As you've seen, soon as we got there, I got that 3.5 pounder, almost a 4 pounder,
right?
Which ended up being the big fish of the tournament. But really, and I don't know if you remember this, Gary, but I missed another big one.
Yeah. So I don't know if you remember it, but I did a last second change up when I got to the lily pads, and I started throwing a Spro frog. Okay.
That's right.
So I made a few casts with the Spro frog, and then poof, like right in the area that I just threw the frog at, you caught the fish. And of course I was happy for you, but I'm like, you know what? If I would have had a spinnerbait on, that fish might have been mine, not to sound selfish, but right after that, yeah, the frog went down and I abandoned. Now, don't get me wrong, I could have gotten a nice bite on the top water, but you're going to get more bites on a spinnerbait, a crankbait, and a worm than you will top water, unless it's just some magical day where the top water don't stop.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I abandoned the frog real quick, put a spinnerbait on, and I started to pick up some small dinks here and there.
Yeah.
But it didn't help. So I'll let you continue on that. But that's, because I think I'm not even sure if I think in the video it does show me reeling up the frog and going, enough with this.
Yeah, it does. It does. It does say I'm switching back to the spinnerbait.
Yeah. Yeah. So and that was a decision I didn't even, it's me fishing for myself anyways, but it was a decision I made when I pulled up. I went for my spinnerbait and I saw the frog sitting there and I was like, big fish. And I threw it out there, and then you got big fish on the spinnerbait. So
yeah. I mean, I thought of it, and this, and most of the folks that watch my channel know this. I love the spinnerbait. Period.
Oh yeah.
That's go to, but you gotta. We caught fish on the spinnerbait less than 5 hours prior.
I know. Lesson learned. Those things that you go, maybe I can do a little better.
Hey, but that's part of tournament fishing, right?
Right. It's decisions you make, and
right.
You do have to change up because it was so early in the morning. There was no wind, and it was actually perfect frogging weather.
Sure.
In that, so that's why I chose that. But poor decision.
I think I caught 1 or 2 dinks. I know we got one on video there, but it right after the sun, just as soon as the red ball got above the horizon.
Yep, that was it. Shut off.
It shut off. We didn't have. We went to the worm bite. We ran out to the point where you caught your keeper and we caught the small. Yep. A couple dinks on a crankbait, and came back in. We kind of let the lily pad area rest a little bit. Came back in and wormed it to death.
Yep. So yeah, I put the Zoom black grape on, and it was back-to-back cast, and each one was 13.5 or 13 3/4, just short of the 14th. And so you were actually, I think, still spinnerbait, and then you might have had something else on, but you were like, okay, black grape, and you changed it up to something similar. You picked up a few, and I think you put a red one on or something like that. But
yeah, I had a blue and red fleck. I like the culprit auger tail worm.
Right.
I caught maybe 3 smalls.
Yeah,
2 or 3 smalls. But we stuck with it. I ended up a keeper. Right, I got 1 good keeper out of it. And it was 16-inch bass. I don't remember what the weight was on it, but it was.
Yeah, it's too far back.
Yeah. But by the time we got through worming everything, I mean, we wormed it hard. I mean,
I think we that worm hit every lily pad in that field.
We hit it hard, but we moved on up. Now I wish, again, we didn't know the lake that well. There was some other spots
Yes.
Could have probably hit a little bit earlier, but that's fishing. But hit them. We did catch some smalls, right? In the day, but man, it just there wasn't nothing.
It was a tough day number 2. Actually,
it was a very tough day.
Actually, it was a tougher day number 2.
I agree. It was.
We actually caught less fish on day 2 than we did day 1.
Yeah, no doubt.
And, I mean, especially keepers. So I mean, day 1 we had 5 keepers, and day 2 we had how many keepers?
2.
Is that what you came in with, 2? Yeah.
Oh, 3. I had 3.
You had 3 keepers on day 2.
Yeah, I had 3 keepers. Yeah.
And I could not pull a keeper out. I think 5 minutes before we had to go in, I had another nice one, and it was like 13 7/8. Overboard it goes. I can't bring it in. So, day 2, I got skunked, and I'll let Shane tell the rest because it's now his story because I'm out of it.
Yeah. So I had 3 keepers going in. I caught 2 on a worm, 1 on a spinner, that big one on a spinnerbait, right? Yeah. And it was a long. It wasn't as long as the first day because it's a shorter day on Sunday.
I think we stopped at 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock. We stopped at 2 o'clock. We casted our arm off.
Yes.
I mean, if anybody knows me, I am. I'm a hard when I get on that boat. It's time fishing time, right? It was. We didn't hesitate at all, but we got back to the boat ramp. I looked around and I remember just in my mind talking to the fishermen and just seeing their facial expressions. I was like, didn't do good.
Right, but when you caught that big fish, I actually said, Shane, that could be big bass for the tournament, and it was
387, 81,
387 something. I mean, so it was a decent fish.
Yeah,
but I mean, for that lake, a 387 for the big fish is. Yeah, it's a weird day for that. I mean, you're a big fish, it's be 5, 6, 7 pounds.
Yeah.
And Shane was like, no. I'm like, Shane, look what happened to us yesterday. The big fish the day before was 256, 251, something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, a 3 something, that could be big fish for the tournament. And
it was.
It was.
It was a big fish of the tournament.
Yeah.
I did, and honestly, I did say this to Gary. I don't know if you remember this. I said I dreamed I caught the big fish of the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
I got the big bass of the tournament.
In your dream, the bass was bigger though.
I did. I thought it was a 7 or 8 pounder.
Yeah. You weren't dreaming of a 372. Yeah.
No. Yeah, I had dreams of grandeur, man. I thought it was going to be a big 7 or 8 pounder.
Right.
But we rolled in the boat ramp, and I could tell by just the body language and other fishermen I was talking to, they didn't do well at all.
Nope.
And even, who I thought would be the angler of the year, skunked.
Yeah. Yes. We had day 2, over half the club skunked on day 2. And I was one of them. So I can say that without offending anybody. It was a tough day. It was a deja vu of my March tournament, which was also a 2-day tournament at Seminole. And on that tournament, on day 1, I was in first place. On day 2, I only got 1 fish on day 2, and it knocked me down to 4th place.
And was that, Gary?
In this tournament, I came in 4th place. But, I wasn't in the money, but 4th place for 4 fish at 686 on a 2-day tournament. Okay, that's a tough fit. That's 2 days of tough grinding it out.
Yeah. So, most people already seen it because I posted on Facebook. I ended up in 3rd place.
Yes, and congratulations again.
Thank you. I had big fish, and we had side bets. With all the side bets, I think I walked away with the most money for the tournament, or pretty close to it.
Yes, you did. Yeah.
But it was the one thing that I learned because I didn't learn. It's just I knew all the time is you never give up.
Never give up.
You never know what your next cast is going to bring. And yeah, I didn't get first. Now back to what we talked about in day 1. If I'd have kept that 12-incher,
you wouldn't have come in first.
Definitely second.
You would have I'd have to go back and look, but possibly move up to second. But I think you would have gotten second if you wouldn't have thrown out that 12-incher that I took for the measure. So
yeah. Well, I mean, the lesson learned for this whole 2-day tournament, it was fun, right? I did. It was. Let's just say it this way: tournament fishing, when you're out there like we fish, it is stressful.
It is, yes.
It's stressful. At the end of the day, it's somewhat fun, right? I still enjoy fishing. I love.
We had more fun because we were together on the boat.
Thank you.
I was on the boat alone for the first day, which was 10 and a half hours, and caught the amount of fish, the 4 fish. I probably would have been happy. And, I'm always in a good mood when I'm fishing. I have a smile on my face, whether it's a fish this big or this big. In a tournament, though, it's a different seriousness mode, So, yes, when I get a dink, am I happy I caught a fish? Yes, but I'm not really happy because it needs to be bigger. But I really don't think if I was fishing in the boat on the 2-day tournament alone, I would have had as much fun losing as I did with you in the boat.
It's all that matters. We had a good time. At the end of it, we've been fishing together for 30 years. From North Dakota, Minnesota, California, Alaska, Georgia, Florida, Virginia, Maryland. I mean, we fished all over the United States together. So, good time anytime we go out fishing. So,
yes.
I think one of the things I'd like everybody to realize walking away from this, if you've fished tournaments or not, and I sponsor these online tournaments, a different type of pressure, right?
Yeah.
You deliver every day. It's a little bit different. It's more relaxed, But if you do decide to jump into a local tournament group, it's not easy, right?
No, that's why it's a tournament.
That's why it's a tournament, easy, right? It can be It's stressful. Right. It's hard. You're putting your money on the line, right? And you got to go out there. And when you commit, when you commit to fishing a tournament, you've got to commit 100% with everything. Don't go out there in the first couple of hours, didn't catch anything. I'm just kind of let it go. You got to go from the minute you throw that trolling motor down to start casting until you go into the boat ramp.
And you'll never see that in any of the videos. The only thing you're going to see in the videos is the good times catching the fish.
That's correct.
You're not going to see all the frustrations and the frowns and the cussing and everything else that goes along with either catching a tree, getting snagged, catching mudfish on the side, and the fish you're not supposed to catch or don't want to catch, to just plain not catching fish and the sheer frustration of it. You'll never see that in anybody's fishing video. Yep. You can
watch the MLF, all these tournaments online.
Unless you want a depressing video to watch.
You're right. It's just about what people like to see, right?
Right.
And that's why I wanted to do this. I want to show the footage, right? And then talk about it. Kind of did this in a little different format. But I thank everyone for sticking to this. Thank you, Gary, for jumping on here and talking.
Thank you for fishing with me.
Yeah. And we got more tournaments to come.
We got one coming up in March.
Yeah, I got one coming up in March. I'm planning on getting out quite a bit and not just fishing Virginia. I've already had Florida on in the last few weeks.
Yep.
Florida again here pretty soon, and Georgia. That's Seminole. We don't know where the next tournament is down.
It'll be in my March tournament will be in Seminole.
Okay, so in Georgia then. So Georgia.
Yep.
But hey, everybody! Thanks again for watching this. I hope you got something out of this versus just the action. We really want to give you the truth, the boy behind what happens in a fishing tournament. And if you get out there, I hope you have good luck. I hope you want to decide to join my online tournaments. I hope you have good luck with that too. So, but next time,
remember, keep your bait in the water. If the bait's not in the water and fishing, you're not going to catch fish.
Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. And Gary, thank you for jumping in here. And
thank you.
And till next time, tight lines and good luck fishing.